Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Namita Singh Malik. I extend my greetings and wishes to one and all watching this video on International Women's Day. Eleanor Roosevelt has once said, I quote, "A woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until and unless she gets into hot water." This not only is true only about the women, this is also true about most of the people who have been able to achieve great in life. But definitely and certainly it is true about a lot of women who have achieved, who have contributed to the society and who have been a change makers globally and locally. Today let's talk about few such women. The international line of women motivators and women rights activists, let's talk about them in the first phase. Susan Anthony, a lecturer and abolitionist, a leader and a female right activist, a civil and political right activist of the 19th century, is one of the personalities we talk of when we talk about the women who have contributed to the society. Helen Keller, the lady who was blind, who was deaf, but was able to complete her education, and then she is the one who has worked a lot for the humanity. Bella Ellsberg, who have again been the women rights activist in the civil and the political, for the civil and the political rights. Who doesn't know Malala Yousafzai, the girl, the very young girl, the youngest Nobel laureate from Pakistan, who had suffered and who has survived a gunshot because she has been working for the rights and for the education of the women in Pakistan, and because of that she had to suffer and all that what she has gone through at the hands of the Talibani society. And later on she was awarded and honored with as a Nobel laureate in 2014. These are very few names, I'm sure, and in every nation, every continent has many more, and I might not be knowing many of them. If you look into nationally also, like the kind of the women leaders we have in India, then there's one line of women leaders who are very popular, whom everybody knows. Who doesn't know Indira Gandhi? Everybody knows. The first woman Prime Minister of India, who was known for her the physical and the moral courage, her personality, her boldness, and lot many other things. Who doesn't know Sania Mirza, the Padma Shri awardee, the tennis player? The way today we see that many times when the parents want their daughters to play, and many times when we see the parents are supporting their daughters to go out and play and not be bothered about whether they are going to be tan or not, we give credit to Sania Mirza because she has been a role model. Then we had Sania Nehwal in sports. Then we have Geeta and Babita Phogat. And when I talk about Geeta and Babita Phogat, I always feel that not only they should be admired, rather that their father, Mr. Mahavir Singh Phogat, should be admired more, because coming from a society, coming from a culture where women, which is predominantly a patriarchal society, and where there is a lot of gender stereotyping which is there, he had the courage to actually face the society, and he had the courage to actually train his daughters in a very unconventional sport. So we do support, and I think that Mahavir Singh Phogat, a lot of credit shall go to him for the way he has raised his daughters. Then who doesn't know Kiran Bedi, the first woman into Indian police services? The kind of reforms she has brought to the prison and to the police, they are being talked about, and they are being appreciated even today also. The way she has transformed the entire Tihar jail and the prison system, and the way she has contributed in bringing reformative concept to the prison system, that is something again we all talk about. Then who doesn't know Indira Jaising, the human right, although she might not be very much, maybe the people who are not from the legal field might not be very much aware, but Indira Jaising, the human right activist, the lady who has been very instrumental in bringing the law for the of the Domestic Violence Act. So she's always, yes, she's again one of the people we admire. And then we have Lakshmi Agrawal, the acid attack survivor, the lady who herself has been a victim of acid attack, and now she is the face, she is the entrepreneur also, she is a social change maker also, and she represents all the women who have come across and who have been able to again reintegrate themselves into the society after suffering great loss. So Lakshmi Agrawal, we know, many of us know about her as well. And then we have Kamala Bhasin, we have Vrinda Grover, and few many more such ladies who are very, very popular, who have been, to whom many of us know. But there are many women who are working at grassroots level, who were not blessed to be born in a rich family, or who were not very educated, or the women who did not had lot of support, who did not had much of the education, but still able to make very good changes, and they're able to contribute to a society and to a greater extent at the grassroots level. Let's have a look at few of them. Let's talk about few of Dr. Arunima Sinha, the first world's first female amputee to scale Mount Everest. This 32-year-old Indian lady, she lost her leg as she was being pushed from the moving train, resulting in the loss of a limb. But somehow, because of her great dedication and willpower, she never lost the zeal and the willingness to live life and to face the challenges of the life. So much to learn from a person like her. Then Fulbesan Bai Yadav, this lady who was a child bride hailing from Chhattisgarh, again a Padma Shri awardee, who has been instrumental in actually shaping the life of many women, rural women in Chhattisgarh, who did not had much means to improvise and to live their life in a very dignified manner. And this lady is able to channelize 2 lakh women by promoting the very culture and the very basic handicraft skill. From that she has started. She is from the organization named Man Baleshwar Janhit Karya Samiti, and through this organization she is able to do lot of social work, working for the sanitation, coordinating with the various government departments, trying to further look at the grassroots level, that how various departments are able to how normal person can take benefits of various government schemes and policies. So although a lady who has been not much educated, she's not at all educated. I was listening to one of her talk somewhere, and she said कि पहले हम भेड़े चराते थे, भेड़े चराते चराते अब ऊपर वाले की कृपा से इतनी समझ आ गई है कि अब हम औरतों के साथ उनका भला कर पा रहे हैं और उनको सही दिशा में चला पा रहे हैं. एंड शी ऑल्सो सेड कि मुझे ज़्यादा पढ़ना नहीं आता, मुझे बोलना नहीं आता, लेकिन औरतों के लिए क्या ठीक है इसकी मुझे समझ है. सो दिस ऑल्सो शोज दैट it's not necessary that only the people and the women who are very educated, only they can have the sense and the wisdom of understanding what is right and wrong. It is also not necessary that the people who have resources can only contribute to the society. Rather, in most of the cases I have observed and I have learned that many of the people who have been deprived of the resources in life, who have been deprived of many things in life, even in education also, they have been able to contribute a lot, provided they had that willpower. Again, a very less known name, Sunita Krishnan, the 50-year-old lady who herself has been a victim of sexual exploitation, but she continues, and from the moment when she has suffered such kind of a sexual, physical and mental setback, she decided to work for the cause of the ladies and all the girls and the women who are being exploited. Till date, she has been able to rescue, rehabilitate and reintegrate a lot many women, more than 25,000 women she has been able to rehabilitate and reintegrate into the society. Through her organization Prajwala, she is not only she is able to along with the with the government support, not only she is able to bring those women out from what all they have suffered, but she is also able to bring those women into the mainstream by giving them various workshops and various training sessions. And mind it, I was listening to her and I really felt good when I heard that she said that I don't let and I don't say and I don't promote these women who have been victims of sexual assault to get into a very simple type of jobs and things like stitching and all that. She said I wanted and I have been trying to train them into those jobs which are tougher, so that slowly, gradually they also understand that they are tough and they are strong. Then Dr. Usha Khare, I was listening to her when she appeared in KBC Kanveer, where she talked about that in the initial 30 years of her teaching career, she was posted in a school in a village where there was no electricity at all, and way back in 2011 she was shifted to Madhya Pradesh, the Madhya Pradesh Girls High School at Jahangirabad, if I correct rightly, in the Bhopal in the Madhya Pradesh. And that particular school, she has completely changed the entire culture, the entire working of the school. The way she has been able to develop, teach and bring on technological innovations to the school is worthy of the credit. And the last category of women who are not famous, not popular, not known to anybody, maybe just known to you, because you know them and you have seen them as a source of inspiration. And as a source of inspiration, that could be women who is probably, could be your mother, it could be your mother-in-law, it could be your teacher, it could be your sister, it could be your friend, it could be your guide, it could be your daughter, it could be anybody. Any woman who is a source of inspiration, any woman who is able to motivate you and is able to give you strength, the courage, the physical and the moral courage which is required in every phase of life. Every woman who is being able to tell you and is able to push you to attain the professional competency and the skill set which is required to excel in any particular field needs appreciation. Any woman who is able to discipline you, teach you perseverance, teach you the importance of time, teach you the values of empathy. Any woman who has taught you the value of compassion, the value of being self-driven, all this needs to be appreciated. So I feel that today, on this day, let's not only remember and recall those women who have been the global leaders and who have been the global motivators, but we can also try to find around us and look for the people, the common lady, the common man, the common women who might be just draped in a very simple attire, but it's a source of inspiration from you. Well, if you ask me that who's my role model, I would say I have many role models, many women who have been a source of inspiration and who have been a pillar of strength, not because I've talked to them, but because when I see them, because of the character, because of the way they carry themselves, their behavior, their professional outlook towards a thing, I feel motivated. I feel that okay, if I wanted to become something tomorrow, I look up to them. So I think any person who is who's ambitious, or even if not ambitious, every person need not have just single role model. You can have as many number of role models who can actually help you in improvising your position, in improving your knowledge. Anyone and everyone who can teach you the importance of being self-driven and being a lifelong learner. So on this day, I urge all of you to look around and to see and to figure out that from where do you draw your strength. And if you draw your strength from one place, let's try to thank them, let's try to appreciate them, and then let's try to imbibe those strength and those value system so that we can also contribute to the society in whatever way we can. Thank you so much. Have a very happy International Women's Day to one and all.